In a stunning turn of events, Amanda Knox, the American woman once at the center of a sensational murder trial in Italy, finds herself facing legal trouble once again. This time, it's not for murder, but for slander. The Italian court's decision has sent shockwaves across the globe, reigniting interest in a case that has captivated the world for over a decade. Knox, who has consistently maintained her innocence, now faces a new legal battle, adding another layer of complexity to her already tumultuous story. This recent development begs the question, how did we get here? How can a woman, twice acquitted of murder, find herself entangled in the Italian justice system yet again? To understand the full scope of this latest chapter in the Amanda Knox saga, we need to rewind. In 2007, Amanda Knox, a 20-year-old American student in Perugia, Italy, became embroiled in a nightmare. Her roommate, Meredith Kircher, was found brutally murdered, sending shockwaves through the town and beyond. The murder quickly became an international sensation, with Knox and her then-boyfriend, Raffaele Solicito, painted as the prime suspects. The prosecution presented a narrative of a drug-fueled sex game gone wrong, painting Knox as manipulative. Public opinion was sharply divided, with some seeing Knox as a cold-blooded killer and others as a naive young woman wrongly accused. The Amanda Knox case is a labyrinthine saga filled with twists, turns, and conflicting accounts. Knox and Solicito were found guilty and sentenced to prison after a trial marred by accusations of prosecutorial misconduct. Years later, after numerous appeals and independent forensic reviews, their convictions were overturned. The Italian Supreme Court cited a lack of credible evidence and serious flaws in the initial investigation. Knox, after spending 4 years in an Italian prison, was finally free to return home to the United States. The quaint town of Perugia, Italy, was shaken to its core on November 2, 2007. Meredith Kircher, a 21-year-old British exchange student, was found brutally murdered in the apartment she shared with Amanda Knox. The discovery shattered the peaceful facade of the town, capturing international headlines and sparking a media frenzy. Italian authorities launched a full-scale investigation, meticulously documenting and analyzing every piece of evidence. As investigators combed through the crime scene, the focus quickly shifted to Amanda Knox and her boyfriend, Raffaele Solicito. The media latched on to Knox's youthful appearance, painting a picture that clashed with the brutality of the crime. Circumstantial evidence began to mount against Knox and Solicito, with their alibis deemed weak and their accounts inconsistent. The prosecution presented these findings as damning evidence, building a narrative of guilt that captivated the public. Just when the focus seemed solely on Knox and Solicito, a third figure emerged: Rudy Guade. Guade's fingerprints were found at the crime scene, and he fled Italy shortly after Kircher's body was discovered. When apprehended, he claimed to have been at the apartment but insisted he was innocent of her death, accusing Knox and Solicito. Guade's involvement introduced a new narrative, leaving investigators and the public grappling with more questions than answers. The trial of Amanda Knox and Raffaele Solicito began in January 2009. The prosecution painted a picture of a drug-fueled night of depravity that ended in murder. The defense argued that the evidence against Knox and Solicito was flimsy and based on flawed forensic analysis. The trial, lasting over a year, was filled with dramatic testimony and intense media attention. Throughout the ordeal, Knox maintained her innocence, captivating audiences worldwide. In December 2009, the jury reached a verdict: guilty. Amanda Knox was sentenced to 26 years in prison, Raffaele Solicito to 25. The courtroom erupted in gasps as the verdict was read, sending shockwaves across the globe. Knox and Solicito vowed to appeal the decision, determined to clear their names. The case entered a new chapter, marked by legal battles and the hope of proving their innocence. In 2011, after nearly 4 years of imprisonment, a glimmer of hope emerged for Amanda Knox and Raffaele Solicito. The defense, armed with new forensic evidence, argued that the initial investigation had been flawed. The appeals court agreed, finding the DNA evidence unreliable and overturning the convictions. Knox and Solicito were released immediately, marking a stunning reversal of fortune. Knox returned to the United States, greeted as a symbol of resilience. While the acquittal brought relief to Knox and Solicito, it did little to quell the controversy. The prosecution appealed the decision to the Italian Supreme Court, throwing the case into further legal limbo. Despite being cleared of the murder charges, Knox and Solicito remain forever linked to the case in the public imagination. The tragic death of Meredith Kercher served as a stark reminder of the human cost of this highly publicized case. The Amanda Knox case transcended the confines of a local crime story and exploded onto the global stage. The relentless media attention transformed the trial into a high-stakes media spectacle. The internet became a breeding ground for speculation and misinformation. The global glare of the spotlight shaped public perception and influenced the narrative surrounding Amanda Knox. The media's portrayal of Amanda Knox was as polarized as the public opinion surrounding the case. One narrative painted Knox as a manipulative femme fatale, while the other presented her as an innocent abroad. The femme fatale narrative gained traction early on, playing on sexist stereotypes. The innocent abroad narrative, championed by Knox's supporters, gained momentum as the trial progressed. The overturning of her conviction raised serious questions about media bias and the presumption of innocence. The Amanda Knox case serves as a stark reminder of the power and peril of media coverage in high-profile criminal cases. The relentless media scrutiny can influence juries, sway public opinion, and jeopardize the right to a fair trial. The Knox case raises crucial questions about the role of the media in the digital age. The challenge for journalists is to report accurately and ethically, avoiding sensationalism and recognizing the impact of their coverage. The Amanda Knox case highlights a disturbing reality within justice systems worldwide: wrongful accusations and miscarriages of justice. Human fallibility, systemic biases, and public opinion pressures can lead to innocent individuals being wrongly convicted. Knox's case underscores the importance of due process and the presumption of innocence. It also highlights the silent epidemic of hidden injustices worldwide. The human cost of wrongful accusations is immeasurable. Individuals face lifelong challenges even after being cleared of charges. Even when justice prevails and wrongful convictions are overturned, the scars of suspicion can linger long after the gavel falls and the headlines fade. For those who have endured the ordeal of being wrongly accused, the journey to reclaim their lives and restore their reputations is often arduous and emotionally draining. The experience of being caught in the crosshairs of the justice system, facing public scrutiny, and enduring the hardships of imprisonment can leave lasting psychological, social, and legal consequences that extend far beyond the courtroom walls. The psychological toll of wrongful accusations can be particularly profound. The weight of suspicion, the loss of freedom, and the constant fear of being perceived as a criminal can take a heavy toll on an individual's mental and emotional well-being. Many who have been wrongly accused struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, anxiety, depression, and a pervasive sense of distrust in others and in the justice system that failed to protect them. Socially, the stigma of being labeled a criminal can be incredibly difficult to shake, even after being cleared of charges. The label of accused or ex-con can follow individuals long after they have rebuilt their lives, impacting employment opportunities, personal relationships, and their standing within their communities. The court of public opinion, often swayed by initial accusations and media portrayals, can be slow to forgive and forget, leaving those wrongly accused facing an uphill battle to reclaim their reputations and rebuild their lives. The journey to rebuild one's life after being wrongly accused is rarely linear or easy. It requires immense resilience, unwavering support, and often a relentless pursuit of justice. For many, the fight for exoneration doesn't end with a not guilty verdict or a dismissed charge. It extends to clearing their names, seeking accountability for the errors that led to their wrongful accusations, and advocating for reforms to prevent similar injustices from happening to others. Support systems play a crucial role in helping individuals navigate the aftermath of wrongful accusations. Family, friends, and advocacy groups dedicated to supporting the wrongly accused can provide emotional support, legal guidance, and a sense of community during a time when isolation and despair can be overwhelming. These support networks can offer a lifeline of hope and encouragement as individuals work to rebuild their lives and reclaim their narratives. Legal recourse, while often a long and arduous process, can be an essential step for many seeking justice and accountability. Civil lawsuits against those responsible for wrongful accusations, including law enforcement agencies, prosecutors, or even individuals who provided false testimony, can provide a measure of financial compensation for the damages endured. More importantly, such lawsuits can bring to light systemic flaws, expose misconduct, and potentially lead to policy changes that can help prevent future miscarriages of justice. The unending trial of Amanda Knox stands as a stark reminder of the fragility of freedom and the profound impact that accusations, media scrutiny, and a flawed legal system can have on an individual's life. Knox's journey, from accused killer to acquitted woman, highlights the complexities of justice and the power of narratives. The case captivated the world, becoming a cultural touchstone for discussions about guilt, innocence, and media influence. It exposed the vulnerabilities of legal systems to errors, biases, and external pressures. The case underscored the importance of due process and the right to a fair trial. The Knox case serves as a cautionary tale about the speed at which accusations can spread in the digital age. It highlighted the need for critical thinking, media literacy, and responsible journalism. Ethical reporting is crucial to consider the impact on those involved in high-profile cases. At its core, the Amanda Knox case is a story about the enduring power of narratives. From the moment Meredith Kercher's body was discovered, multiple narratives began to emerge, each vying for dominance in the court of public opinion. The prosecution presented a story of a sex game gone wrong, fueled by jealousy and a lust for excitement. The defense countered with a narrative of a flawed investigation, contaminated evidence, and a rush to judgment. The media, often blurring the lines between fact and fiction, amplified these competing narratives, shaping public perception and influencing the way the case unfolded. Knox herself became a blank canvas onto which others projected their own interpretations, with some seeing her as a cold-blooded killer and others as a naive victim. The case became a Rorschach test, revealing as much about the biases and preconceptions of those observing it as it did about the events themselves. For Knox, the battle to reclaim her narrative began the moment she was thrust into the spotlight. She fought to be seen not as the caricature portrayed in the media, but as a complex individual caught in a nightmare. Her memoir, published after her return to the United States, offered a glimpse into her experience, her voice finally given space to be heard amidst the cacophony of opinions that had swirled around her for years. The case serves as a reminder that truth is often elusive, that narratives are powerful tools that can shape perceptions, and that the fight to control one's own story can be a lifelong endeavor. The Amanda Knox case, while extraordinary in its global reach and media frenzy, offers valuable lessons for legal systems, media organizations, and individuals alike. It highlights the importance of due process, the presumption of innocence, and the need for a more just and equitable justice system that safeguards individual rights while ensuring accountability for those who abuse their power. The case underscores the need for rigorous forensic investigation, unbiased evidence collection, and the importance of expert testimony in criminal trials. It also highlights the potential for tunnel vision, confirmation bias, and the influence of public pressure to impact the judgment of investigators and prosecutors. The case serves as a reminder that the pursuit of justice should never come at the expense of fairness, and that the burden of proof rests squarely on the prosecution, not the accused. Beyond the legal implications, the Amanda Knox case prompts a broader conversation about empathy, cultural understanding, and the challenges of navigating a globalized world, where perceptions are often shaped by stereotypes and preconceived notions. It encourages us to question our own biases, to challenge narratives that confirm our existing worldview, and to approach complex situations with a critical eye and an open mind. Ultimately, the lessons learned from the Amanda Knox case extend far beyond the courtroom, serving as a reminder of the importance of compassion, fairness, and the enduring pursuit of justice for all.